Press release, to whom it may concern. From the Eritrean Sinit Movement Leadership Team, the Coordinating Committee, October 20th, 2021. Subject: Joint letter by 4 Eritrean opposition groups to President Biden supporting sanctions. A joint letter signed by 4 Eritrean opposition groups was issued on October 5th, 2021, and was subsequently made public. It was addressed to the U.S. President, Mr. Joe Biden. The letter supports the proposed sanctions imposed by the Biden's administration on the Eritrean and Ethiopian governments. However, there are some extremely serious concerns therein that the original Eritrean Sinit movement, aka Sinit, an opposition political movement to the current regime in Eritrea, must address and clarify in this press release to avoid misunderstandings, reaching wrong conclusions, and/or making false judgments. These concerns are detailed below. Number 1. One of the 4 signatories of the letter calls itself Sinit Eritrean, represented and signed by Mr. Sengal Wolde Tensai. This gentleman is no longer a member of the original Eritrean Sinit movement, nor is he a member of its coordinating committee, its leadership team, or a member of its constituents. He voluntarily resigned along with 3 others, namely Dr. Sara Okbay, Ms. Ababa Abraha, and Ms. Gennet Berhane, from his post as a member of Sinit's coordinating committee and from all activities of Sinit, in a letter addressed to Sinit's chair, Dr. Salah Noor, on June 28, 2021. Therefore, Mr. Wolde Tensai's claim to be a representative of a, quote, grassroots organization of Eritreans for democratic change and rule of law in Eritrea, end quote, is a sham, unfounded, and untrue. We at Sinit find this claim to be preposterous. The newly created so-called Sinit Eritrean, led by Mr. Wolde Tensai, has no history of being a grassroots organization and is unheard of amongst Eritreans in the diaspora. He is abusing our good and reputable name, our hard work, our professionalism, our true history as the authentic grassroots organization working for democratic change and rule of law in Eritrea over the past few years, so he could be included with those 3 other groups who signed the letter. Number 2. Since he resigned completely from Sinit and all activities of Sinit, Mr. Wolde Tensai has no legitimacy to represent Sinit or pretend to in any way, shape, or form, and on any occasion or platform. We disapprove of the fact that he made some covert cosmetic changes to his group's name by copying our name to make it appear as if it was the same organization. Number 3. Sinit has its own bases, bylaws, annual periodic conferences, online seminars, strong media presence, a code of conduct, a credo to live by, a leadership team made up of high caliber and capable individuals, paying and non-paying members, an organizational bank account, a registered U.S. tax ID number for a nonprofit organization, a team of legal advisors, a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel, an email account, an honorable representation of hundreds of Eritreans globally, and a popularity in the global Eritrean political arena. Furthermore, one of the main objectives of establishing Sinit was to find a solution to the biggest challenge facing Eritreans at the present time. It is the absence of trust amongst them. Therefore, Sinit took it upon itself to work on this noble and monumental task relentlessly and has chosen a holistic approach to tackle this issue. Thus, building a genuine trust amongst Eritreans one brick at a time has become the focus of Sinit's work over the past few years. We at Sinit believe that once this huge trust issue is overcome, all other problems can be solved with much less effort. Some of the notable works that Sinit has done since its inception is authoring 4 distinct documents to address the challenges facing Eritrea and Eritreans. Those documents are A. Objectives of Change, an orderly discourse transition to democracy in Eritrea. B. An amended Universal Declaration of Human Rights to reflect the Eritrean reality. C. A roadmap creating a unified Eritrean National Democratic Force to defeat the dictatorial regime in Eritrea. D. A proposal of the constitution for the transitional period in Eritrea. Our members and supporters perceive us as credible, responsible, and trustworthy. It is this good reputation, in addition to the list of accomplishments mentioned above, that Mr. Wolde Tensai wants to hijack from us in a shameful manner. Number 4. What is amusing in the letter is the logo that he used for his so-called Sinit Eritrean group. Mr. Wolde Tensai has used a distorted version of our organization's logo to make his logo appear similar to ours, and thus mislead people. For example, the Arabic word for Sinit, al-wifaq, is taken from us. The letters in Arabic are fragmented and unreadable on his logo. Another forgery he used is the Tigrinya word Sinit, which is displayed twice on the same logo in a deceptive way to duplicate our original one. Number 5. Another noticeable deceit that Mr. Wolde Tensai used in the letter is the distortion of our email address for his so-called Sinit Eritrean group. Our official Sinit email address over the past few years has been siniteritrea@gmail.com. Mr. Wolde Tensai fraudulently took our exact email address and added a 2 at the end of it to deliberately mislead the public, making it to be siniteritrea2@gmail.com. His purpose seems to be to catch a share of the good reputation and mode of communication we have enjoyed with our fellow Eritreans thus far. In conclusion, we, the leadership team of the original Eritrean Sinit movement, hereby declare that we have taken absolutely no part in writing the letter addressed to the U.S. President, Mr. Joe Biden. In the letter, Mr. Sengal Wolde Tensai has exploited our good name in a manipulative way. At this juncture, it must be noted that the Eritrean Sinit movement does strongly and unequivocally condemn the cycle of violence perpetrated by the elite groups of all the parties involved in the regional conflict and calls for a peaceful resolution without delay. Sincerely, Dr. Salah Noor, Chair, Eritrean Sinit Movement. God bless Eritrea.